babbles and his lungs collapse into themselves with his hands clasped around his stillborn dreams, do we call it a figure of speech? Now, when the people responsible for killing this man force chaos down the throats of his descendants and teach them to repeat it until it is the only language that they know, when they mispronounce the names of their own, do we call it poetry? Who tells a story without substituting shackles for accessories and noose for necklaces? How much of his history is lost in translation, on purpose, in stolen lands, on saltwater splash? Who will find his language and purge it of lies? Thank you. Welcome. Please do not get attached to yourself. We have not finished pricing you yet. Strike one. Starve the artist. Strip them of their stories. Sell it back to them in pieces. Sell the aesthetic back to the person who invented it as a personality. Turn trauma into TED Talk. Tell the child with asthma in Ajegunle to manifest better lungs. You want stillness? You will subscribe, oh, yes. You want silence? There's an app for that. Give them mirrors that only show what is broken. Come closer, Jenson. This system does not want you dead. That would be inefficient. It wants you almost alive. Alive enough to produce. Alive enough to consume. Alive enough to blame yourself. The system does not break your body at once. No. It takes a finger today, your weekend tomorrow, your entire 20s by surprise. By the time he asks for your spine, you're already calling it normal. Sometimes, I imagine this system as a child who never learned how to share anything, sitting on a pile of toys, screaming, mine, mine, while the entire house burns to the ground and asking why everyone is being so dramatic. This system loves stories, not people. Stories, success stories, before and after bodies, rags to grace stories, and Trenches boy makes it to third stage stories. They praise our survival so they would not have to admit violence. Because the people who built the distance so that they can feel generous. Strike two. Name stars after your daughters. Sell the process. Sell the promise. Let the people hold the promise of stars in their pockets until it burns through the fabric of their faith. Divide them. Divide them by island and mainland. By who learned to code switch and who did not. Oh yeah. Confuse them so they never notice their leash. When you are done, deny everything. Deny the bodies in the water. Deny the blood on the road in October. Burn the records. Fill every moment with chatter. Make sure no one remembers. Give them a new thing to be angry about every morning so that the old anger never finds its target. Bury justice in paperwork. Make it a maze. Make it a myth. Make sure no one remembers. Gaslight the globe. Everything is fine. Everything is fine. No. Strike three. Sell palm wine to the care guides and call it organic. Sell them coconut at the beach full of coconut trees. Say it is exotic. Market land that you do not own. Sell soil that you do not understand. Gentrify God. Gentrify God. Strike four. Tell the woman that if she wants softness, she must earn it by surviving every valley of every shadow first. Build banks where they bet their babies. Let them inherit base like a surname, like a face, like something that you cannot outrun or escape. Stand in the smoke and wave. Welcome. Here is your generational trauma starter pack. Assembly required. Assembly required. There are children in this Lagos that grew up fluent in waiting. Waiting for power. Waiting for light. Waiting for water. Waiting for that door to stop pretending that it is not locked. And when their body finally breaks, when he asks for mercy, we call it a personal failure. Oh, have you tried yoga? Have you tried therapy? Have you tried being born in Ikoyi? How about that? There is a seminar on TikTok right now. teaching people how to monetize their trauma without sounding bitter. There is language for everything except knowing when to stop. And they call this freedom. This subscription ye, optimization ye, ogun grind until God notices you ye, ogun manifest it into existence ye. This is what they have called freedom. Our rest, one wellness ni. Our joy, one self-care ni. Our stillness, one mindfulness ni, in a retreat in Ekpe that 3 months of your salary cannot afford. And we were so tired. We were so tired that some of us actually almost believed them. But listen, somewhere, Ninu Ekoyi right now, a woman is laughing for no reason. She's just laughing for free in this economy. Somewhere, a child is sleeping, unaware of all the debt this country has already put in its name before it even learned how to speak. Somewhere, a man is cooking, and the smell of his food is the closest thing to a prayer he has said all week. And God, if God is anywhere, God is in the laughter of that woman. God is in the sleep of that child. God is in the smell lifting from that pot. In hands that make things with no intention of selling them. In the person who rested today, unprovoked. In the child who still does not know what they are worth in the market, and long may they never know. Hallelujah to the unproductive. There is power in your joy. Your joy is the oldest form of rebellion. There is power in your play. There is an entire theology in the fact that you rested today. Oh, come, you are not a resource. You are not the sum of what you produce between the hours that they have assigned to you. You are the thing that was here before this place had a name for you. Benny, Odeshima Wanibi. Long after the system forgets that it ever tried to price you. The most radical thing that you can do in this place is to remember that you are not a resource. In all of this dust is to remember who you are. And then with your whole chest, with your entire body, be completely gorgeously, recklessly alive. Not for them, for yourself. Thank you. Okay. So now I am going to do a third poem. I have been thinking about my mother a lot. She died in 2019. And as I grow into a woman, I realize that I am becoming so much more like my mother. And I used to be so afraid of it. But now I'm realizing, you know what? It's not such a bad thing. Everyone that knows me knows that I love trees really intimately. But please don't call me a hippie. I'm too Yoruba for that. I have been thinking about trees. You know, the way a tree must feel like to be a tree. To have your feet in darkness, your faith in fire, every single day of your life, and call this ordinary. Flood here, drought here, lightning comes, you survive, and you just keep becoming what you already are. I want to be like that. My mother loved trees too. And anytime she was by her favorite one in Ondo State, Okitipupa, she slowed down, like she was trying to remember something Lagos kept making her forget. I am becoming my mother, not the wounded parts. In the way I lean towards green and brown, and I am drawn to ancient things. In her refusal, her fierceness, that spirit that she carried that just did not know how to be a victim. I am carrying my mother's inability to be small into every room that I walk into. That is my inheritance. And I am holding it with my 2 hands. Oluyemisi is gone from here. But you see, that babe enjoyed her life down to the marrow of the thing. She taught me that pleasure is a birthright, she is still teaching me. She knew the things that the trees know. That to survive a storm, you do not become stone. You simply bend and you become more deeply yourself. And when the wind is done proving its point, you are still rooted. My mother had reverence for all the things that were here before us. And that is why freedom for me is not escape. It is the gbogbo of everything. The full catastrophe of being alive. The showing off. The bragging spirit. The desire so loud that when I enter small places, they get embarrassed. So when you ask me what freedom looks like, freedom is what a tree does, growing into the full geometry of itself without asking anybody if the shape is convenient. Freedom looks like me by the ocean, in my head, hearing myself think, not performing peace for anybody. So when you ask me what I am, I will tell you that I am the thing that grew in the dark. I am the root that found water before anybody ever thought to look for me. I am in covenant with the moon, and that is not a metaphor. Mo ti bá òṣùpá múlẹ̀ wá. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni, mo ti bá òṣùpá múlẹ̀ títàn. Mo ti gba agbára láti òkè. Mo ti já ṣẹ̀kẹ̀ṣẹ̀kẹ̀, mo ti di ọba. Mo ti já ṣẹ̀kẹ̀ṣẹ̀kẹ̀ ìtìjú. Mo ti já ṣẹ̀kẹ̀ṣẹ̀kẹ̀ ojú. Èmi dòkun gbọ́ta mi, mo rún wọn jẹ́gẹ́jẹ́gẹ́, mo fọlá ṣáwọn lákè, mo jó. Nítorí pé mo ti di ìjì, mo ti di omi, mo ti di igi, mo ti di àràbà. So when you ask me what freedom looks like, it looks like a tree that my mother once loved, still growing, still standing. It looks like our audacity living in my mouth every single time I say my name. Ayomide Aduni, Beradide. Ayomide Aduni, Beradide. Ayomide Aduni, Beradide. Asikwetito. Stay. 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 Mo ti dìjìyà, mo ti domi. Mo ti dìjìyà, mo ti domi. Èmi dòkun gbọ́ta mi ṣẹ̀nu wúyẹ́. Èmi dòkun gbọ́ta mi ṣẹ̀nu wúyẹ́. Ẹni mọ̀ mi mọ̀ wípé mo ti dìjì. Ẹni mọ̀ mi mọ̀ wípé mo ti domi. Èmi dòkun gbọ́ta mi ṣẹ̀nu wúyẹ́. Mo jó. Èmi dòkun gbé wọn mi ṣẹ̀nu wúyẹ́. Mo jó. Thank you.